Real plan Dybala swap, Juve hire Pirlo, Barcelona make Silva approach, a transfer roundup, and today's Emoji Mondays all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host, Matt Frolic, you are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. So first up, and after being knocked out of the Champions League by Manchester City, Real Madrid are apparently planning for next season already. It's probably a good idea, seeing as the next season starts in just a little over a month. Anyway, Paulo Dybala is the main man on the hit list according to reports in Spain, but in all honesty, I'm not so sure this deal is going to happen. Apparently, again, because of the fact there are not so many funds available this summer, the Dybala deal will involve a swap deal, and there have been two players mentioned to be going the other way. One of them is Isco, and the other is Toni Kroos. I mean, let's just get the Isco thing out there straight away. He doesn't play too much at Real Madrid. He'd probably be a good fit at Juventus, so that one, maybe there's a bit of a possibility to it. But Toni Kroos, no way. Juventus have got a stacked midfield. They've just bought in Arthur as well. I really cannot see them going for Kroos. And on top of this, I can't see Real Madrid wanting to lose him. Like, Modric is definitely, although he's still playing pretty well, coming towards the end of his career at the top level. So that's one less midfielder for them to have in their squad. And I just think that Toni Kroos has been so brilliant for Real, so consistent, that they wouldn't dream of letting him go. And on the flip side of this, the deal for Dybala in the first place doesn't really make much sense. Both Juventus and Real Madrid have struggled or will struggle to get Dybala in the squad. At Juve, whether he plays up front instead of Higuain or Cristiano Ronaldo, we don't quite know. They don't really have a number 10. He doesn't fit deeper into a midfield role, and the same thing happens at Real Madrid. He's not going to play out wide. He's not going to be one of the midfield three, and he's not going to be the forward instead of Karim Benzema, certainly not for next season at least. So why on earth would he actually be moving there? Honestly, the only thing that it could come down to is that if Dybala wants to change and if Real Madrid offer him a lot of money and a lot of assurances that he'll be getting some first team game time. And one of the reasons that he may want to change is because Juventus have changed their manager, although legendary Andrea Pirlo has probably got enough clout about him to keep the best stars at the club. That is because Juventus were knocked out by Lyon in the Champions League, despite the fact Cristiano Ronaldo did all he could to try and drag his side back from the brink. Anyway, Maurizio Sarri, apparently his future was decided before the game, but it was the final nail in the coffin. He was kicked out, and straight away Juve brought in Andrea Pirlo no less than 10 days after they actually hired him to be the under-23 coach for next season. In my mind, I'm not quite sure this makes sense. Pirlo comes into the squad, no doubt, as a legendary player, as a player who won so much throughout his career, has so much respect in the Italian game, in European world football in general, but just does not have the coaching qualifications to back it up. He has no coaching experience, and I'm not even sure he's handed in his final thesis that qualifies him as a top-level coach. So why are Juventus relying on him? Like, yes, as he comes in with the strongest squad in the league, he will be expected to win the Scudetto, but that's really, really difficult because he's never going to be able to achieve anything. He'll only match expectations, which is winning the Scudetto, like I said, or he'll fail. And the fact that the likes of Lazio, Inter Milan, and a few others are really pushing and getting stronger, things may be a little bit more difficult than they have been for Juve in the past few seasons. When it comes to the European stage, if the likes of Max Allegri can't bring the title, right, then Maurizio Sarri can't bring home the Champions League title either, what makes them think that inexperienced Andrea Pirlo is going to be able to do it? I feel like it was a bit of a knee-jerk reaction. Like, they obviously wanted him in because of his status and because he's got a lot of respect from the players, but what was the need to rush? They could have spoken to Allegri again. They could have spoken to Mauricio Pochettino, who's a free agent. There's a bit of time for Juve to sort out their new manager. I just don't think that Pirlo needs to be hired so quickly, or he needed to be the top of their list either. Having said that though, I'm moving on to some more transfer news. Barcelona reportedly making a bid for Bernardo Silva. Yeah, they won 3-1 over Napoli to make it through to the next round of the Champions League. But again, things don't quite necessarily seem right in the rest of the team. Messi's goal was outstanding, by the way. Luis Suarez looked pretty good. Frenkie de Jong had a brilliant game in the middle of the park. For me though, Antoine Griezmann was terrible. He lost the ball, he looked in and out of the game, he looks like he wasn't really gelling with the rest of the team, and you can kind of see why that if they were to get rid of him, Bernardo Silva would make a great replacement. The one problem is that he's brilliant and incredibly important to Manchester City, and there's no way that they're going to be letting him go. Even with a swap deal potentially happening with Nelson Semedo as well. Obviously, plus a little bit of money as well. I mean, no one's that ridiculous to just directly swap Nelson Semedo for Bernardo Silva. The only thing that I could see him being tempted to move to the new camp is, well, as we mentioned before, they offer him a lot of money and they give him a direct place in the starting lineup. He does start for Manchester City regularly, but this last season, despite being Player of the Year the previous season, he only started 23 Premier League games. If you're like an out-and-out starter in the squad, you're starting 30 minimum. Regardless, if Barcelona can offer him that and a little bit more, maybe they'll be able to tempt him, but I just don't think Manchester City want to sell him, and Lord knows they do not need the money, whatever Barcelona can offer. So next up, and a quick roundup of the rest of the day's daily news, where Olympiacos left-back Konstantinos Tsimikas is heading for a medical at Liverpool after the club had a bid rejected for Norwich's Jamal Lewis. They've decided to go for the Greek left-back. Elsewhere, and talking of left-backs, Chelsea's attention has now turned to Getafe's Marco Cucurella as they search for a replacement for Marcos Alonso. Elsewhere, and Everton, Tottenham and West Ham are all interested in Bournemouth's David Brooks. And finally, Lazio are the latest team who look to be making a bid for Fenerbahce striker Vedat Muriqi. Moving on, and we come to Friday Feels, where you guys left your footballing predictions in the comment section on Friday's daily ahead of a massive weekend of Champions League football. I'm actually going to give myself a little bit of a pat on the back because I called the Manchester City score right and the Barcelona one correct as well, and I was just one away from getting the Juventus score right, but they won 2-1 instead of 2-0, and that knocked them out of the Champions League. But forget about that, because one of you got all three absolutely spot on. And that was Michael Olarigbe, who managed to guess that yes, Juve would win 2-1, Barca would win 3-1, and that Real Madrid would lose 2-1 to Manchester City. Congrats to you. Elsewhere, and Lou G guessed that Bayern would win 4-1 against Chelsea, and a big shout out to Annie Rudash, who guessed that Barcelona, Lyon and Manchester City would all qualify. In fact, there was a comment under his post that says, "Get ready to cry." Honestly, why is everyone just attacking each other's predictions? In fact, the person who commented, "You look even more ridiculous," because Annie Rude got them all right, so a massive congrats to you. So finally, we come to this week's Emoji Mondays. This is where we at Onefootball throw a couple of emojis down over some of the weekend's football. First off, we have the best player from the weekend, and it's hard to look past Robert Lewandowski. 2 goals, 2 assists, the man is on fire, firing Bayern Munich to the Champions League title, and they will be a tough team to stop as they smash Chelsea 7-1 on aggregate. The craziest moment of the weekend? Hate to say it, Rafael Varane's performance against Manchester City. Big mistakes that eventually cost his team, but does that ruin the rest of his career? Absolutely not. If you think that Rafael Varane is a bad defender because of one game and a couple of mistakes, you need to watch a lot more of Rafael Varane. The guy's been consistently brilliant, won absolutely everything there is to win, maybe apart from the UEFA Cup. But yeah, just an outstanding defender. And if he's remembered for just a couple of mistakes, you're not doing it right. And lastly but not least, the best result of the weekend does go to Lyon, who managed a 2-1 loss to Juve, but it was enough to see them through on away goals. By the way, some of the penalty decisions in that match were disgraceful. The first one, when he got the ball, was ridiculous, unless it was Bernardeschi who was clipping, I think it was Hassim Aouar. But the handball for Depay, he's got his arm in here, it was all just a mess. Everything was just terrible in that game. Anyway, that is all from Emoji Mondays, and that is all from me for today. Make sure you let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section on all of the daily news and your Emoji Mondays too. Whilst you're at it, you can smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on Onefootball. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.